Hey guys, it's Biggs. I'm down here in Cincinnati. I've been here for a fish convention. I catch my flight home today. But I thought maybe I'll zip down here at the Cincinnati Zoo. It's a world famous zoo. It's a very, very old zoo. It's one of the oldest zoos in North America. But it has an incredible reptile house. It's not big, but the collection's definitely impressive. So I thought, let's take a peek. Now today it's been absolutely pouring rain, so the zoo is almost empty, but every one of the buildings is just packed with people, so hopefully we'll be able to see some of the animals. So let's go take a peek at this incredible building, which used to be the oldest zoo building in North America, and this used to be the monkey or ape house, I believe, but now it's been turned over. It makes more sense because once you see the size of some of the cages, you can't imagine having monkeys and apes in this thing, but once we go see the reptiles, let's go take a peek. Soon as you walk through the front doors of this iconic building, you see many of these panels discussing the history of this building. And as mentioned before about it being an ape house, it became a reptile house in 1953, and it has stayed the same since. But it is truly a spectacular space to showcase some of these absolutely incredible animals. And each one of the displays for each animal is set up really, really well. Beautiful, nature-inspired enclosures. As you can see, it's all in the round, but just take a peek at some of these enclosures. Absolutely incredible. Truly inspiring for someone myself who is building this, this building to showcase certain animals that we could talk about. So let's take a peek at some of these individual animals. The first one up is the Gila monsters, one of North America's only venomous lizards. Beautiful desert-scaped habitat. The next one up is the Indian star tortoises. And they have an abundance of mulberry trees throughout the property, so fresh mulberry leaves is a great source of fiber and nutrition for these animals. And this is a fascinating animal. Well, it's going a little blurry there. That is a pancake tortoise. Very, very unique to live in its habitat where it can dig right into a small crevice. And it shares its habitat with an Angolan python. We often see at zoos where they'll mix different animals together, but they're always from the same region, and they eat different food sources, and they don't compete for anything with each other. So this is a rather unique display to see this fair-sized python in this enclosure, and there's the little guy checking it out. Now this one here is a unique aquatic turtle called a Pascagoula map turtle. Very, very unique with that keeled shell. This one here is the Indo-Chinese spitting cobra. Now that's about the best shot we're going to get. This one's very, very cool. This is a true hellbender. As you can see by the glass, it was very challenging to take any video because it's such cold water. So I kind of cleaned the glass off a little bit. It doesn't do a hell of a lot. There he is, a little bit of movement, but it's North America's largest salamander. These are from Bolivia, and these are a high mountainous region. They are called the Titicaca water frogs, and they live in Bolivia and Peru. This is a captive-bred juvenile Komodo dragon. Doesn't have that iconic look, and I'm sure they're going to have to move it when it does get older. But absolutely striking animal. The largest living lizard on the planet, reaching upwards of 10, 11 feet. Incredible. Beautifully appointed South American habitat for dart frogs and an emerald tree boa. Now they do have several different types of poison dart frogs mixed together, and none of these animals are actually ever toxic whatsoever in captivity. It's all based on their wild diet. Can you locate the emerald tree boa in the enclosure? It's well camouflaged. This one contains a few North American species, a Florida pine snake, which I could not find, but the Florida brown anoles. And there's ones there. There were several of them in this enclosure, and they were easy to spot frolicking all over. This was one of my favorite habitats that was set up. It houses 3 North American species as well. First off is the Florida black rat snake. This is a non-venomous species of colubrid. Gets to be about 7 feet in length. And then some of my favorites, this gorgeous northern copperhead. Just look at that color. And then the timber rattlesnake. Let's pull back a bit here and take a peek at this incredible enclosure. It's absolutely stunning. Now this enclosure contains a rather uncommon species. This is a Jamaican boa. It's a smaller species of boa as it lives on an island. This one here is another species of island animal. This is the Aruba rattlesnake, Crotalus unicolor. Very, very unique. And this is one of the absolute favorites here, is a true king cobra. That's about as best as we're going to see of him today. This is the world's largest venomous snake. How about for another one? This is another type of venomous species. This is a rhinoceros viper from Africa. Look at that camouflage pattern as it lives on the leaf litter on the floor. This is another absolutely stunning, well-appointed enclosure. Very urbanized, but this is the type of habitat you may find this species. This is the world's largest species of rattlesnake, the eastern diamondback. And there's another one, closely related to that rhinoceros viper. This is the gaboon viper, a very, very heavy snake. Lives on the ground, has the world's largest fangs of any venomous species. Now this thing here in the middle, when they had apes and monkeys, this one here seems like an odd enclosure, but they've appointed it fairly well with this nature-inspired type of a reef here for this Chinese alligator. It's a smaller species. And there he is there. I think we can get probably a bit of a closer view. And there he is there, much more shorter snouted. This species in the wild is critically endangered, so it's nice to see these animals in these nature-inspired habitats. Now once you leave the building and go just around the grounds outside, they have several different beautiful nature-inspired habitats. This pond had a few different North American species of turtles. That's about the closest one we're going to find. But the real thing that I really wanted to see was the Galapagos tortoise habitat. And they have, I believe, 4 or 5 of them. There they are munching again on those mulberry leaves. But this is a monstrous enclosure that wraps around more than 2/3 of the building. Galapagos turtles is another critically endangered species endemic only to the islands of Galapagos, which are a part of Ecuador. And they get large and live for hundreds of years. Just absolutely incredible animals to see up close and in person. So, I think this place has been a wonderful stop.
Now, I only had a little bit of time, so honestly, I didn't even get a chance to go and tour around the whole zoo. I literally came here, it was pouring rain, got my ticket, and I came a beeline directly to the reptile house because I thought that would be the coolest thing for me to see and show you guys. They do have some other incredible animals, and I understand that there are a few other reptiles that are over in Manatee Springs, but that's on the exact opposite end of the zoo. This building's at least towards the front, so I'm soaked right to the skin. I got to see some really cool reptiles. And now I got to head back to the hotel, get my bag, and head to the airport so I can head home. So hope you guys enjoyed this one. We'll see you on the next one. Take care.